everyone. Welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. It's home of the Coach Kelly Wells Show every Tuesday at this time throughout the basketball season. We talk Bears basketball. And, of course, the man with us tonight, Coach Kelly Wells. Bears with a 2-game lead atop the Mid-South Conference standings with 2 games to go. If I told you that in November, what would your thoughts have been?
Well, if you ask the other coaches in the league, they thought we'd be about 4th. If you remember, we sat here and we talked about that, and I said we haven't finished 4th in a long time in this league. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. So I'm thankful, but I do have high expectations of our program. Sure. I feel like we've done enough work in the past to continue the tradition, and I'm thankful where we're at, but certainly this close is going to be important for us. We want to win both these games, not sneak into the tournament playing okay.
Sure.
We want to be playing great, but I would be pleased if you told me we had a 2-game lead in our conference heading down the stretch.
Of course, last week a loss on the road at Georgetown. Tough place to play, obviously, looking at the stretch run. What do you attribute that streak? Just not being able to get over the hump at that gym.
One, they're good. I mean,
sure.
that's a big piece of it. They're a very good team, and we just find ways to beat ourselves a lot of times. We played a great 30 minutes, and then a really, really pitiful 10 minutes,
right.
Down the stretch. I thought we had it under control with 11 minutes to go. We had a 9-point lead. Things were cruising right along, and that basket started shrinking, and we couldn't get anything to go, and then we coupled that without playing any defense on the other end, and that's not a really good combination. Therefore, they handled us pretty easy at their place. So it's just a hard place to play. We'll break that streak eventually. Whenever that happens, it happens, but our goal is not just to win at Georgetown.
Sure.
Our goal is to win the league, and we have a chance to do that, and we want to continue that as we go as number 1.
Well, they've got a little bit of a streak at their place against us. We've got a pretty nice streak of our own playing at the Expo Center, too.
No question. And road games in college basketball are hard to win. They're not giveaways. You have to really go out and you have to work at them to win them. And we've got that challenge ahead of us this week. And certainly we're going to finish that off at home. And hopefully that'll be 2 nice wins for us going into tournament time.
We righted the ship with the win over Campbellsville, of course, on Saturday. And as we head into the final week of the regular season, we'll take a look at the highlights from last week.
Yeah, here we are, and Coach Stanoff does a great job on these for us. Here we are at home, and Javian De La Cruz finishes through 2 people. He's as good a finisher as there is in the country, and certainly a merit of an All-American here. And there he goes with his left hand, his offhand. He gets a great bucket. Great defensive play here by DeLez, and this is something we've been doing better, taking charges at the basket, and that's just an obvious, easy take there, and hats off to him. And here's Rodney Hawkins with a nice little move on the inside against the zone, and one of the things we weren't expecting them to do is play a lot of zone against us, and this is a nice high-low finish for Rodney. And this is how we create a lot of our offense. We can dictate tempo and pace by our defense and rebounding. Here's DeLez with a great steal and a nice fast break dunk. And anytime we get those points, those are valuable to us. And here again, defense creating offense. Chase Parsley with a fast break layup. And anytime we're doing that, that's so critical of our success, getting fast break points. And he's really been good. I even nominated him as Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. And here we are in some of our dribble drive series and do a great job of catching the guy playing over top, and great pass by DeLez and an awesome finish by Jordan Perry going there. And here we are in transition. This is what we love. This is where we want to be as best we can. And here's Darian Leslie with a great move to the basket with a great finish in transition for us. This is one of the patented Javian De La Cruz, or as we call him, De La Smooth shot. He steps in, a little fade away, and for most people that's a bad shot. For Jay, that's one he makes about all the time. So thankful that he has those offensive abilities. And here we are with Chase Parsley getting 2 feet in the paint, creating a defensive help and sending it over to Rodney Hawkins, who finishes on the other side. We work on that quite a bit. And another floater in the lane coming off a 2-foot finish. And RJ is really good at this kind of stuff, and over the 6'9" post player, and great touch and gets it to roll. And the final one here is a nice little alley-oop. We drew this up out of a timeout. The guys did a great job of executing with the back screen and the pass over top. And you look in the back, all those Morgan County folks are super proud in the back of that as well. So great finish to the highlights there.
Little blue and gold there from Morgan County supporting Jordan Perry, and he's one of those mountain kids that what a great find for the UPIKE program when you can hang on to those guys and they choose to further their education and further their career here at our mountain school.
No question. That's a critical piece to it. They have to be good enough, too. They've got to want to be here. They've got to be good enough. He had answered all the bells, and if a man would have 12 Jordan Perrys just at different sizes, this would be an easy profession.
Got it. Of course, RZ Culbreth is coming up. He's on deck. We saw him in the highlights, and you'll have a chance to meet RZ in just a moment. 6-foot senior out of Winchester, Virginia, and Coach, Senior Day coming up Saturday. It's a special day.
It is, and it snuck up on us way too quick, and certainly RZ is one of those kids that makes our program better on every aspect, and we'll miss him as well as his other 3 seniors that will be departing. So it's very, very important for us to finish the season the right way, get those guys fitted for their championship ring, and let's celebrate and see what we can do in the tournament and in the national tournament.
Coach, best of luck this week, and, of course, we'll talk again soon.
And I appreciate it.
Coach Kelly Wells, it's the Kelly Wells Show presented by Appalachian Wireless. RZ Culbreth is coming up next. You'll go in the Bears Den, the Coach Kelly Wells Show, live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's home of the Coach Kelly Wells Show as we come to you every Tuesday evening at this time. And Coach Kelly Wells currently with the number 3 ranked team in the country, and a big reason for that joins me now. 6-foot senior out of Winchester, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, RZ Culbreth. Not your first time on the Kelly Wells Show.
It's not my first time.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. And we run through a certain scheme of questions with every guest on the Coach Kelly Wells Show. We talk about academics. We talk about your playing career influences and things. But as we talk about academics with you as a senior, it's not like Jordan Perry, who's a sophomore, these young guys that have got this certain roadmap and a major and what they want to do down the road. You're a senior. It becomes more real now, as you can see graduation very close by. Let's talk about your major and what you want to do, RZ.
My major is sports management. That's my that's my major. I have another semester to go, December, so looking forward to that.
What are you going to do after graduation?
I'm not 100% sure. My parents have an organization called the I'm Just Me movement. We actually have our own national holiday, so working with the adversity stuff and just young growth and adults.
There you go. Playing basketball as long as you can, is that part of the future for RZ?
That's for the future, hopefully overseas or wherever I'll be at with that, but only time can tell.
When you come to the University of Pikeville, and now we talk basketball, we talk about playing overseas, and when you see Coach Kelly Wells, you meet him for the first time, and you talk with the assistant coaches about the guys that have played here that are playing overseas, and some have been playing professional basketball for several years. Is that a certain importance in the recruiting process that, the University of Pikeville, Kelly Wells, he can get me to where I want to be and I can finish my education?
Yeah, I can finish my education. Also, girls and men, Kelly Wells has definitely taught me some lessons on and off the court, especially in the classroom, like being a better student, focusing on the little things like being on time in class, just taking my studies seriously. Yeah.
Not just basketball lessons.
No, not just basketball lessons.
But life lessons as well. This team, of course, a lot of newcomers this year. And when you have new guys join a program, and UPIKE certainly is a program, not just a team, but when you have those new guys come in, talk about the process of gelling into a team, building team chemistry, and developing guys that like to play together and play well together. The difference in October and now here we are late February. How different is this team and the process of building team chemistry? What's that like?
Chemistry is definitely important, especially being together off the court, like doing things off the court, brings you more of a bond as a team and more of a friendship. So when you get on the court, it's like more of it clicks, stuff clicks, and you're able to communicate. And yeah.
This team showing more chemistry now than it was in October.
For sure, definitely.
We're seeing that on the court, certainly so, but we're not there on the road trips. We're not on those times off the court when you guys are building team chemistry unintentionally. It's not a plan that you go through. But RZ, you'll approach Senior Day on Saturday. The Mid-South Conference tournament this year, it's at the Expo Center.
Yes, sir,
so it
yes,
won't be your last home game, but your last regular season home game. Does that bring special meaning to Saturday?
Yeah, it kind of does. It definitely does. I mean, us still having the conference tournament here but definitely the senior day, the whole everything going up to that.
Indeed. Senior Day coming up Saturday, Mid-South Conference at the Expo. How special would it be to win that conference championship at your home arena?
That's the big goal right there. That's coming for that.
Arze, it's been our pleasure to watch you play in your career here at the University of Pikeville. We think you've got another several games remaining in a UPIKE uniform. We're glad you do. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Arze Culberth coming up next in the Bears Den. Brady Schmidt, one of the UPIKE players that it will be a first-time appearance on the Kelly Wells Show. You don't want to miss that. Brady Schmidt on deck next. Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings, home of the Coach Kelly Wells Show every Tuesday at this time. And we're talking Bears basketball, currently ranked third in the country, 25-3, and a 2-game lead in the Mid-South Conference standings. 2 games to go on the road at Life University this Thursday, and then home at the East Kentucky Expo Center Saturday. The Mid-South Conference in town next week, beginning on Wednesday through the weekend. You'll see a lot of basketball in the East Kentucky Expo Center. Joined now in the Bears Den by Brady Schmidt, a sophomore out of Louisville Atherton. And Brady, welcome to the Coach Kelly Wells Show. First time here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
We wanted to welcome you to the show. And Brady, we'll talk basketball just a little bit, but first let's talk academics. What's your major? What do you want to do down the road?
My major is sports management, and I'm looking to be like an AD in the future or maybe a coach.
Coaching basketball.
Yeah, basketball.
Coach Kelly Wells, you've got a good one to learn from.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that, arriving at the University of Pikeville, the recruiting process, how you became connected with the University of Pikeville, and how big of an influence you attending UPIKE was Kelly Wells.
Well, I went to a showcase after my senior year, and Coach Faulkner actually recruited me for JV. And through that whole process, I kind of got to get to know Coach Compton and Coach Wells and all of them.
Sure. You recruited as a player that wasn't guaranteed a spot on the regular season roster. Mm-hmm. You're going to come in, you're going to play JV. Playing high school basketball, you were one of the go-to guys for your team, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
As everyone is when you step to the next level. Everyone has been one of their guys at their high school. How tough is that, making that transition from being the go-to guy to being surrounded by a lot of guys with good talent?
It's tough. It's really different, but it makes the game more enjoyable because, you have, like, really great players around you. So, like, if you have a bad game, it's not all on you.
Sure. You come in as a JV player without that guarantee. Now you have worked your way. You have earned that role on the regular season squad. Talk about that. Talk about that process. Is that part of Brady Schmidt's thought process coming in? Okay, I'm coming to UPIKE, going to get my education, keep playing the game. I'm going to move up from the JV at some point.
Yeah, it was definitely the plan coming in. I knew that I just needed an opportunity to show what I could do, and I knew here I would, and I got the opportunity. I took advantage of it.
You talk about playing in a showcase after high school. Talk about what that's like with college coaches. Coach Faulkner, he's there representing UPIKE, but you've got college coaches from all over
yes,
there, several college coaches. How nerve-wracking is that?
It's pretty nerve-wracking. You look to the sideline, you see all the coaches there. It definitely, makes you want to play a lot better, for sure.
Brady, I'm going to ask you a question I ask many players at some point during their career. No matter what sport, every athlete has got a most memorable moment in their career. It could have been in third grade. It could have been 3 weeks ago. It could have been 3 days ago. Most memorable basketball moment.
Probably my senior night, actually. I went 6 for 6 from 3, and my last 2 were my last 2 were huge. The one put us ahead, and then the second one put it away. So it was pretty fun. The atmosphere was fun as well.
6 for 6 from three-point range on senior night.
Yep.
That's getting it done. That's one that you'll take with you
for sure
throughout your life. You'll be telling your grandkids about that. Brady Schmidt, thanks for being with us. Glad to have you a part of this University of Pikeville men's basketball program. You've been a great addition to the program. We want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
The rest of your career and your academic career at the University of Pikeville. We're going to talk with somebody you know coming up next on deck. Graduate assistant Colt Chapman. He played at the University of Pikeville, now a part of the coaching staff. You've talked to him many times. Colt Chapman next. When we return, the Coach Kelly Wells Show, live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Back after this. Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings Pikeville. It's home of the Coach Kelly Wells Show as we talk UPIKE basketball. Great guest tonight, Brady Schmidt, sophomore out of Louisville, Arze Culbreth, a senior, who will play his final regular season game Saturday at the East Kentucky Expo Center. And a guy joins us now who's had his senior day at the University of Pikeville as well. Played his career at the University of Pikeville, now in his second year as a graduate assistant coach and a member of the staff. Colt Chapman joins us now. Colt, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So good to have you here, and one of those guys that we saw play your entire career at the University of Pikeville, coming in as a young, gangly freshman and leaving as a rebounding machine as a senior. We saw you evolve as a player at the University of Pikeville, and you and I have shared that story before about, this guy, I don't know, 6'5", he's a skinny kid. He'll never be able to play in the Mid-South and beat and bang with those guys in the paint, and you proved me wrong. And just a tremendous work ethic during your time playing at the University of Pikeville, and we always like reflecting on those stories. But now, graduate assistant, second year, and we talked some JV basketball. Brady Schmidt, a guy who was brought to the University of Pikeville as a JV player, with an opportunity to advance and earn his way to the varsity. But you coach the JV. Let's talk a little about the JV program, because I think there are some people that don't realize that UPIKE has a JV program. Let's talk about that. Number of games, how many players, where do they come from?
Yeah, so we try to schedule about 15 or so games. That's the target number. Sometimes your schools will come and they'll schedule you, but they may not have enough guys by then, or So we try to get about 15 games. So we currently, I think we're going to play around 10 or 11 this year, and so we have about 10 guys on the stat or on the team, and it's they, like I said, we try to bring in a certain amount of guys, but it's kind of tough at times.
I would imagine so. Limited numbers, guys on the JV. They've got to be extremely focused to dedicate the amount of time in practice, in class, and working their way. Brady Schmidt's one of those guys that's earned his way. It happens from time to time at the University of Pikeville. There's an opportunity there for those guys to earn that. Tell us the Brady Schmidt story.
Yeah, so last year, Evan Faulkner, who's now an assistant on the staff, he was in charge. He was the head JV coach, and Brady came in, and he didn't have a lot of experience playing basketball. I think he started at the end of his high school career, and Brady, he worked hard, and he's a good kid. And, we always say you put that time, you put that effort in, and then you're going to get rewarded for it. But if you don't put the time in, you don't put the effort in, then you're not going to get the result that you want. And he for sure did. And he's a really great kid, and we like having Brady up there on varsity with us.
And, of course, learning a good work ethic, I would imagine you've got some things you can pass along to him. Graduate assistant for Coach Kelly Wells. And I know Coach Wells, he not only coaches players, but he coaches coaches as well, and develops you into a coach so that as you advance in your future, you learn the role and many different responsibilities. As a graduate assistant at UPIKE in the basketball program, let's talk about your job description. What all is entailed with being a graduate assistant at UPIKE?
Yeah, so it's one of them jobs that you kind of like a jack of all trade. You're the way I look at it is you try to make the Coach Wells and Ty and Evan's job as easy as possible. We take on the travel, and I have Ben with me, and he does an awesome job. Ben's an excellent guy to have with you on staff as a GA. So we kind of plan trips, and we do the meals, and get the uniforms ready, and basically anything you can think of as far as the details of things, that it's kind of what we take care of, and we just really just try to make the other coaches' lives a lot easier because they got a lot on their plate as well. So if we can take some of that off their plate, then that's kind of the best thing we can do.
So Coach Wells doesn't have to deal with the itinerary, where we're staying, where we're eating. That's already been taken care of, planning, scheduling, and the details. And the devil is in the details because they can wreck a trip.
Yes, absolutely.
If those things aren't taken care of. Also, I know the assistant coaches, you do a lot of work with video, with editing, with scouting. Talk about that process.
Yeah, so Coach does a really awesome thing. Every year, for your main conference schedule, Ty, Evan, they'll kind of take that brunt over because those are important and they have some more knowledge than us. But Coach Wells does an awesome thing. He kind of gives each one of the GAs like their chance to do a scout.
Sure.
So you make the edit, you make the scout, you talk to the guys, you go over the film, and it's definitely a learning process that a lot of other places in the country, they don't get that opportunity.
Sure.
So for us to be able to do that, I think that's such an advantage, and such a really good perk about this position and this spot is that you get to actually learn how to do your own thing instead of just kind of following along and not really learning because when you become a head coach, you're going to need those skills.
Right.
And I think that's an awesome thing that he lets us do.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And, of course, you being a part of the program for 6 years now, you've seen a few of those
Oh,
scouting
absolutely.
reports.
Absolutely.
You know the process, you know the format,
Yep.
and you know what's expected out of those, and now able to produce those, developing as a coach. What's next for Colt Chapman?
I would like to continue coaching. I think that I'm going to move back home. I'm going to, work with my dad. He's going to start up a company and kind of, work my way. I think I want to take a small break from it. I think that, I'm young and I want to take this next step in life. But I know that basketball is going to draw me back in. It's a magnet. I can't stay away from it. So it's eventually, but maybe take a year or so off and kind of recollect and get myself financially stable. So.
Great to have you here. Best of luck, and we'll, of course, see you at the Mid-South Conference
Absolutely.
Tournament next week. Great having you a part of the program. You've been tuned to the Kelly Wells Show, talking UPIKE basketball. Our thanks to the coach, Kelly Wells. Also, our guest tonight, RJ Culbreth, a senior. You'll see on Senior Day Saturday, Brady Schmidt and Colt Chapman. You've been tuned to the Kelly Wells Show live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks for tuning in.